well, the president of the Manitoba Métis Federation, David Chartrand. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing very well, Ray, and you guys seem to having a very happy time this morning, which is great to hear in Métis Hour. It's always a pleasure to when people call in with all laughter and joy, and at the same time wishing their friends and birthdays or anniversaries and so forth. That's one of the purposes of the show. The other purpose is to give updates for our Métis business and Métis governments and where we're sitting and where things are going. So let me start off first by wishing everybody a happy Valentine's Day come Monday on behalf of myself and Cabinet and, of course, all of the staff at the Federation. I want to echo a sentiment. Valentine's Day is a very special time. This is when most of the time the guys go out there and try to find the best present they can to impress their girlfriends or their wives or say thank you to their wives, and the wives do a similar, return. So we are planning to go, and actually we are engaged at 529 Wellington, and that's where to go, and we've been trying to book for some time. We can't get in there, so we're going to actually celebrate Valentine's Day a few days after, so when we get into the restaurant that I proposed to Gloria at. So, but again, happy Valentine's Day. You guys get a chance to go out and spoil your partner any way you want. Sometimes it's not a gift. Sometimes it's like doing something very special for them or spending the day with them or just maybe washing dishes and washing clothes and helping out at home, just make things better, or else just cooking a hell of a good meal. So, again, there's all kind of ways we want to show our loved ones we care. So, for everybody, make sure you take the time to show your love for your loved ones and make sure Happy Valentine's Day is Happy Valentine's Day. So, now in other business, I had a very good visit last night with one of our past leaders. Of course, Robert Gaudry is going through a very difficult time in life right now. Doctors have projected that Robert was actually supposed to leave this world a few weeks ago, but being the fighter that he is, he's still around, and of course, his ability to speak is not as effective anymore. But myself and Gloria had a chance to go see him and visit him last night. We were allowed because it's basically his last few days there and plugging some of the supports in there. So, but it was great to see and see him smile and see him cry and his blue eyes and just beautiful to see our past leader. And I told him that the MMF government wants to, on behalf of Cabinet, embraces a big hug and a big thank you for all the years he served in government, and to thank him for his leadership and always being there to help the Métis in any way he can. So we won't forget him. So and we won't forget our responsibility to take care of our politicians who have given a lot of their lives and their personal lives to the Federation and to the people. So, again, Robert, I hope you're listening. You always listen to the Métis Hour at home, but given that he's in Stonewall, I'm not sure we can hear if there is radio in his room. But it was a great honor for me to be allowed to go visit, and said for Gorian too. So we go way back with Robert Gaudry and his family, and I want to make it very clear he'll be greatly missed by our Cabinet, and thank July to Lajmadir for the prayer at our Cabinet meeting yesterday. We had, of course, a Cabinet meeting, and we had a chance to reflect on the thoughts of our past leader, Robert Gaudry, and those loved ones that we've seen before. So, okay, with that being said, Robert, as I said, I don't want to dread or talk too long on the sadness of this issue. We also want to talk about the happiness, and the family are coming to terms with this, and they know that there's nothing more can be done to show love and then show him love after. So, again, I'm sure you know him, Ray. His name was Robert Gaudry. He was on Cabinet for a long time. So
yes, sure.
I just want to again express my personal prayers to the family, and ask all our citizens to send prayers their way. It's a time of hardship and grief, and at the same time a celebration, as I talked to him last night about remembering his contribution. On other matters, Cabinet did meet on Friday with a full-day session, and you heard Minister Leah LaPlante report on, she's responsible for the Central Registry Office, and here in Manitoba, we do not sign the cards, citizenship cards. Actually, it's signed by the department, and other provinces signed by the president. We don't believe in that. That's, I think, takes away from the independence of it. So our CRO actually officially registers and authorizes each citizenship card. And right today we have, I think, 42,000. What is the number here? I have it written down here somewhere. 42,859 citizens registered already.
Wow.
And there's over 1,000 right now in waiting, and that's a lot to do too. What's happening with the with Stats Manitoba to get their long form birth certificate. They've been given that the offices have been shut down by the province and they're working from home. It's been a challenging time to try to finish off their genealogy and all the other evidentiary documents they do need to make sure. We have a very stringent rule system that's in place that our people wanted, and so citizens that do register will have to meet those qualifications. So we're trying to make sure that we get them up to par, and because every citizen has the right to vote, but it's important that they need to register and ensure that is Métis citizens voting on behalf of leadership, and that where we're going as a nation, it's important that we recognize that and protect the people that we know for sure was Métis people putting in that particular leader or having their say in the future of their government. So, again, for all those, election is this year. It will be coming. The time will be announced at a later date. But we have some other good news also. Even though we're making the constitutional revisions, a lot of it was on grammar, gender neutral. Instead of saying him, we have to change the dim or they or different grammar. But we made some fundamental changes in regards to our July 6th self-government agreement we signed with Canada. And, of course, we're negotiating a modern-day treaty with Canada right now. And we're about 95% complete with that. And it's going to change, again, the very essence of our Métis status. We are only Métis in the homeland. That's a recognized government, the Reverend Métis. And so it's important to recognize the leadership and the wisdom in the leadership that we would not sign the documents that other provinces signed where they said they claim their self-government. The government of Canada says, well, I don't recognize you yet until I get legislation from you. So, and you've got a lot of hills to climb to get there. So they signed that document, and we would not agree to that because we've always been a government. And so people listening out in the prairies will know there's a big difference. On July 6th, we signed a self-government effective immediately upon signing. Of course, Alberta's taken us to court now on that, Métis Nation of Alberta. Saskatchewan is also supporting them with intervener. But now they're calling themselves Métis Nations. So that's a big issue, and our people are aware of that, and they're guiding us well. Our citizens have been educated on this field that they're trying to steal our identity, and we will do everything in our power to protect it. So, again, Ray, it just shows you progress, and sometimes you see that people in your own backyard are going to fight you because you get as more advanced than they are. So we're advanced because we have good, solid leadership in our government. So Cabinet went over the Constitution. We'll be meeting with the locals. Between now and March 25th is when the Assembly will take place. Given the new rules that came out from the province, it looks like it'll be a full-fledged Assembly where we will be allowed to bring all of our delegates in, which we, of course, we know we have 2,000 to 3,000 delegates that come in from across Manitoba. And I'm looking forward to all of that activity and what rules we'll place in there. They're saying by then there should be no mask. We still may require a mask at our meeting. But they may not no longer need a code card, so we'll see what that happens on there. But we'll educate our people as we go forward. But again, everybody's still got to be cautious. Don't let just because the Premier says there's a lot of politics happening right now, and we got to watch that. As you see these people yelling freedom, and yet they're the ones taking away jobs from people. Factories are shutting down, stores are running out of groceries, and because they're blocking the main bridges. And then they talk about freedom and their rights. Well, how about our rights? So how about our rights to be free to do what we want to do, use our hospitals, and taking up all our spaces. A lot of people's surgeries are being canceled because of them. So, you look at where a lot of this is coming from. I looked at some of the license plates that were shown in the website. They're from Winkler and in that particular Steinbach area. It's unfortunate that there's a large contingency to be opposed to the vaccines in the area. They're the least users of vaccines. And yet there's a very high demand of hospitalization by them. So at the same time, when that happens, people got to realize it's okay, but it's not okay in many ways because now the doctors can't do surgery on your needs. So, and cancer patients and others are falling behind, and it's just falling behind everywhere. And the hospital is in crisis. So again, these people that call freedom, they're stealing their freedom away from everybody else. And again, the way they're treating them is far different. I've heard some of the First Nations speak out on this issue already. Whereas First Nations are known to very strongly protest the matter if they feel, and as Métis, we're strong negotiators. I don't think we can protest. I guarantee we can protest very quickly. But we've taken a pathway of negotiation, and we've been very successful. First Nations have had no choice many times but to show their force by taking a protest. But you can see the difference of how they've handled the First Nations on matters of this nature when it affect the economy, and how they're handling this part of society, which is far different. And I was very pleased to see this morning they're clearing up the Ambassador Bridge, where a lot of the trade comes in, whether it's automobile parts or foods and supplies from the United States. And it does $300-400 million a day in trade in that particular bridge every day. So it has effect on us. I don't think it doesn't affect you here in Manitoba. It does affect you. The chain of transportation and supplies move right across Canada. So again, I hope they clear it out and get things back to normal. And because I don't know if people have watched what I was watching, but CBC did an overview of the 5 leaders that are leading this blockades and these attempts to overthrow government. They're very alt-right. Some of them are talking about using bullets, and they're very, very right-wing people. There's 5 of them, very dangerous in their statements, in their comments. So these are not people here to argue about vaccines. These people have a different strategy, and they're using these people who strongly believe in whether religious or health-wise or other purpose, independence, whatever it is that causes them to say they don't want a vaccine. They're being used by these 5 individuals now for those 5 people's agenda, which is far different than theirs about vaccines. It's not about truckers, it's not about vaccines. These people have a different agenda, and all you have to do is check CBC, and you'll see who these 5 characters are. And you'll, once you see them, you'll be raising your eyebrows. These are very scary people. So, again, let's get back to our business back here in Manitoba. Of course, our announcement went out on our first ever Red River Métis Fur Company, and the response we're getting from our citizens is so positive. I'm very proud of our people. A lot of people are so excited about it. They're enthusiastic about part of the start. Not only just about the economy of it, it's the tradition, the culture, all these things that they grew up on knowing, like even eating muskrats. People don't realize we eat muskrats. We love muskrats. We eat them every spring. So when you start looking at all of these opportunities that are coming, trappers are saying, wow, but can I go out and trap when I know the fur of a muskrat, for example, might be $2? A beaver might be $12. How can I afford that? So I want to tell our trappers out there that's not what we'll be buying them for. We'll be buying a muskrat at probably double that price, and we'll be buying a beaver probably at $35 to $50 a pelt, because we want to give our trappers the ability to start to earn some revenue and get a nice little check at the end of the day, so they can say, well, although they're protecting their culture and practicing their culture and their traditions, at the same time they're bringing a little bit of revenue into their house. And come next Christmas, well, they're going to have some money for their kids and Christmas time and shopping. So this is going to be a big thing, Ray, and our artisans are so enthused about it, because now they'll have the ability to showcase a lot of their beautiful work of art that the artisans do when they're beating or sewing or making a product. Like, I've seen some beautiful beaver mitts yesterday at the office, and muskrat caps, and just on and on and on. So I just look forward to our artisans. Another side of our economic arm will be buying this from the Red River Métis. Our first focus is artisans, and as we buy the fur and we keep the fur in our supply chain, we'll make sure the artisans have first a right to it, and then from there we're moving it into a national or international market in the future. So we do have a strong plan. We also have a small plan, not small, but a plan in general to start helping some of the trappers with a grant to go and get some traps and start trapping. We're not going to be buying skidoos or anything like that. That gets way beyond the price limits. But there's loans they can borrow. There's Lauderdale Capital Corporation has now been assigned with small loans that can come, which means they can definitely might make a loan to buy a skidoo or a lot of them, like those one bangers, single cylinder engines on skidoos, because they run them all day, and they go in of course the most sometimes dangerous times, right? Because ice is melting, and especially in beaver runs and so forth. So they're very careful, and they have to be very careful in the springtime. And so, again, I'm just looking forward to this. Our cabinet's excited. So is the people excited. We only had one critic so far saying, leave the animals alone. And I said to the media, they interviewed me, I said, you know what people don't realize? I said, First Nations and Métis were the dominant trappers, and we provided some of the most beautiful fur. And throughout history, it's been part of our culture, both First Nation and Métis. But right now, the majority of all trappers are no longer Indigenous. Actually, we're a minority now. And because that was taken from us, you had all these Greenpeace and the farm, ranch farms of fur, ranch farms have taken over the market all over the world. And so our right to trap has been swallowed and killed by Greenpeace, or also these so-called groups. Maybe I'm saying the wrong name, Greenpeace, but these groups that protested against us threw blood or paint on people wearing fur and killed the industry. But they didn't realize, or maybe they did, Ray, that they were actually destroying an economy. That was about 1/3 of the income of a lot of our families.
Wow.
And they didn't stay behind to worry about our families, to say, well, we'll replace it with a different form of income or a different form of revenue or a different form of jobs. Nothing. They went back to their suburbia worlds, went back to their big urban centers, and forgot all about what they just destroyed, the economy of the indigenous people who are very active in doing and practicing their culture and tradition when it comes to trapping. So that is something that people better understand out there, that they could come try to criticize us all they want. It's been our way of life, and then we've always respected the environment. Conservation has been fundamental to us, and we watch it very carefully. And another thing I also echoed, nature is wicked. And the day that nature feels that there's an overpopulation of a particular species, they will form a sickness, and you will see how dangerous and how vicious nature can be to correct an overabundance of particular species. Like wolf, for example. In BC, they're doing their second cull, where they're bringing down the population because they're overburdened with the wolf, because there's no more trapping. So man is the only real enemy of the wolf. And so the same thing happens here. There's a lot of wolf now in our province, and they're actually taking down a lot of the big game, which indigenous people are blamed for killing, for hunting. But wolf are taking a big share of that opportunity of taking down our species of animals. So again, I'm looking forward to this, Ray, and our people are, and I can't wait. This spring we'll start buying, and trappers, get yourself ready and start getting your traps in order and get your trap lines ordered. I know a lot of trap lines have also been taken. We have to look at that, but there's also public trapping in certain areas. But let's make sure we get as much fur as we can. And my goal, of course, is Métis trappers. But I've echoed already to Cabinet that if Métis trappers do not provide enough fur for the fur we need, then we want to buy from First Nations. And given the fact that we're the minority of First Nation and Métis, we want to make sure that we can support our cousins next door. But they love for trapping just like we do. So again, that's a big move, a big shift. The Métis government is doing this, and we're starting this fur company, the Red River Métis Fur Company, and we're going to hopefully see it turn into some ongoing. I put $1 million in cash in there, so people know that we have the money to buy the fur. So again, all the people, I hope you're proud as I am, returning back to some of our cultural ways and keeping that tradition alive, just like our fiddle music, just like our beating, just like our music. So, okay, now moving to another matter, I just met with the Minister Gold, myself and Minister Chartrand. We had a very, very, very good meeting with Mr. Gold. She's actually minister regarding responsible for childcare in Canada. She's a federal minister. And so we had a very good meeting. We talked for about half an hour, and she's very impressed of the achievements. We're the only ones in a Métis homeland that have built daycare centers. We have now 5 or 6 built. We're going to build by 2023. We'll have 10 more built. So it's going to employ, as you heard me on the show, about 200 to 300 people. And we have many going to classes right now in school. We're also going to start putting a program, Ray, where we educate at grade 10 and 12 to 12 level, educating our young citizens that this is a career. It's not, do not take it as a light minimum wage job. This is a career. It's a very good paying career with benefits and pensions and all the rest of it that come with it. But this is an opportunity for the rest of your life to have a good job. It's 200 to 300 people will be needed. And by 2023, I plan to build these 15 early learning childcare centers. And Mr. Chartrand is working very hard on that file. And I can't tell you the enthusiasm, whether it's St. Eustache or Dauphin or Duck Bay, Swan River is under construction, Winnipeg, Thompson, and we're going on. There's ongoing development everywhere. There's a strategy to build. Brandon is there. They have a previously had one already, the region, but now they're going to expand. And so it's just excitement around the table when we talk in Cabinet about these issues, because there's so much available for us and so much change we can make. So that's a good example of where we see things coming forth in a positive way, and where the government is working diligently. We also were in Toronto. We're meeting with the potential of investment in the vending machines in the Metrolinx subways, and also into North America. So we're looking at a potential opportunity that does exist there, and very high-tech vending machines, Ray. It's just phenomenal. Like I said, when I was in Ottawa, I think I talked on a show about it, when I was in Ottawa Regio Centre I was walking through the shopping center and looking for something for my baby, and I seen this vending machine. I looked at it, and there's a chef there, a big picture of a chef there, and it's where you get pop and trips and everything, these vending machines. So I'm looking at these things, all got cake, slices of cake, and I'm thinking, holy crap, would be that stupid to be selling cake in a vending machine? How can it stay fresh? And so I had to go read it. I had to be nosy and go check it out. And I actually bought a slice of cake, and it's shipped every day from New Jersey into their vending machines, fresh every day by that chef. And I tell you, Ray, it's one of the best pieces of cake I ever had. So it just shows you how far advanced vending machines are regarding not only on the product they sell, but on putting out advertisements and so forth. So we are looking at an investment there right now and long-term revenue gains for us, and I'm very, very hopeful that will really transcend itself to job opportunities, but at the same time having the Métis expand its economic force everywhere. So I'll keep people posted on that, and it looks very promising right now, and I'm very, very proud of that. So I also had a chance to go visit Janine. She's making this a beautiful piece of beading in a frame. It's a massive size frame, like I'm talking size of a plywood. It's just massive. It's so beautiful. And she gave me the honor of actually doing some beading on it. I'm not a beader. She taught me what to do and trained me a little bit shortly there. And I was so proud to put my beads in there and on behalf of the Métis government, on behalf of myself as president, and something where Riel and his provincial government will be inside they're going to be promoting it in a different location right now. But my goal is to have that in our Métis Heritage Center. So again, Janine, thank you for allowing me in your home and helping put some of history together. And one day, 100 years from now, I hope somebody talks about, hey, that's President Chartrand's beadwork right there. The ones with all the mess and all the mistakes. No, I'm just joking. But it's really it's something I'm so proud of. You'll see, Ray, when somebody sees it, it is absolutely stunning. And I can't say enough. But it also leads us to another issue. I was speaking with Janine. We have such a robust amount of beaders that are happening right now. And the biggest worry we're starting to have is beads. Venice sold all their beads. China is quitting it. Europe, right now in Czechoslovakia, they're still selling. Actually, we're going to potentially go out there to see this plant and see how they do it, and maybe even open our own plant here, because beading is taking off. And it's part of the micro business I've been talking about on the show, that we need to start small businesses in our villages, give the people opportunity. That's why we said for any artisan that's out there making slippers, making moccasins, making mitts, making any designs or products, Ed Samart's store will buy it all. And we will market it. It's not your worry. Let it be our worry. So I don't want you sitting at a table hoping you can sell two things in the day, 8 hours later. So we want to make sure that your product is shown to the world, shown to our country, and shown how beauty it is, and at the same time we find a proper market for it. So we are going to be doing that. We're going to be buying it off our artisans, but the work has got to be, of course, professional. We don't want somebody just doing something mamaji, shall I use the word, halfway, and not, really would insult all artisans if you do try to sell something that's not well developed, because it sets the image that it's not a good product if it's coming from the Métis. So again, that's another perfect example of ongoing development of micro business. I think it's essential we don't ever lose that. So my time is coming to end shortly, so I want to also give a plug out. There's a youth conference coming out, the Métis Youth Conference, and this is where, again, we're talking about this whole identity issue. That's going to happen Saturday, February 19th, and Sunday, February 20th. I want to thank Minister Germain, who was responsible for the file, and I believe Marcy Riel is probably helping, and then there's also Carrie and probably Tracy in that helping out in this particular section. And I want to express my gratitude to the youth department that are working diligently to make sure the youth are interactive and involved, and get on top of what are the issues, what are the key opportunities that are existing. At the same time, even the education funds, like we give 5,000 to university students now. So we want to make sure that our students are fully aware of it. We want our students at grade 9 and 10 to start planning their future, start saying, okay, I'm going to go to university when I get out of here, and I want to be this or that. I'm going to go to college, I want to be this or that. And I know my Métis government's going to be there. I know they've set aside money in the bank. They have that money there. They're going to make sure they take care and support my family and me to make sure the costs are as minimal to me as much as possible, and I get a career. So we want our young people to start thinking about the career, the future, what they want to become and what they're pursuing for the future, so we can line them up for employment, line them up to have the resources, line them up to have all the expertise, and tutoring if necessary to make sure they're successful. So our education team is ready to go, and the youth conference is definitely going to be talking about something that's coming up this year. I announced it several times on the show. We're going to have youth camps that's coming around the corner. We already got the locations. We bought the buildings. We bought the land. So we're going to build some more buildings. So I'm looking forward to these youth camps, and all the parents out there, if you say, look, I don't have no much money, I can't send my kid, I guarantee MMF will be there to help you send your kid. If they need a sleeping bag, we'll buy a sleeping bag. So I want to make sure that all children get out there, especially those that can't afford it and only dream about it or read about it or see it on TV. I want it to be real. I want to know that they can go to a Métis-run camp and enjoy themselves for a week or two and learn about themselves, learn about their culture, and that their parents not have to worry about their safety, not worry about any issues that could happen. We want to make sure we have the best camps possible, and that'll be a goal that Mr. Janai is working on, and I want to make sure that's happening in that light. So, again, I'm very, very proud of the department. Our department works so well with our youth, and I'm looking forward. I'll be speaking there, and I want to educate the youth about the identity theft that's happening, about our culture, our hard work, our beating, our just everything in general, our music, everything's being stolen now by Ontario East. They're taking our culture, and they're saying it's theirs. And they never had that culture. Mm-hmm. So why don't they use their own culture? If they say they were Métis before, use your own culture. Don't steal ours. Go to the course like we did. Wait 200 years or fight for 200 years like we did. Sacrifice. We paid the price. You weren't there to suffer with us. And so quit trying to steal our identity and who we are and our hard work and just our traditional remnants that really impact us so much, whether it's our flag and so forth. So, you see that happening now. People are desperately trying to steal our identity, but they're going to start changing it also. They'll start making different designs of flowers. They'll start making different messages. And at one time we were called the flower bead. All our beadwork is prairie flowers. And you could ask any of the elders today, they'll tell you the stories of many years ago which were passed on. You can tell it was Métis, you can tell it was Cree, Plain Cree, Northern Cree, just by what they were. You can tell the Sioux, you can tell all of them, just by their beadwork, the clothing they wore, you know who they were and where they came from. So we need to revise that, and we need our youth to protect that, because people like me aren't going to be here forever, and we are the biggest protectors of our identity. That's one thing I'll always go to my grave, protecting our identity and making sure nobody ever steals it from us. On another positive note, I got a few more minutes before my 30 minutes runs out, I'll call it. We just received 50,000 rapid tests. I'm very proud again of us achieving that. It was a difficult thing. We see people selling it on internet. Don't buy it from there. There's people selling it on Kijiji and stuff like that. Do not buy it. If you're a Métis citizen, get hold of the Federation. We'll make sure you get it, and we will track it, because we need you to write down a form and tell us who used it in your house and what was results, and we want that form sent back to us. But we have 50,000 rapid tests that we purchased in Toronto when I was there, and I was successful in getting some. But the price is a little bit higher than I expected, because some places are going $8.95, some places are going $11.95, and some are going $20, and so the different price ranges everywhere. So we're very careful of making sure the expiry date is there. You've seen an article on the vaccine for Northern First Nation that expiry was mistakenly sent to them. So we too had some rapid tests which were expired. They still work, they say, but they're not anything that goes in your body. But clearly, at the end of the day, they were expired. So these ones were assuring our provider that there are over a year left in them before they expire. So just for everybody's good information, or positive information, that rapid tests are available to be distributed amongst the region and to our families. Now, let's finish off with some anniversaries first. Happy 45th wedding anniversary to Linda and Les Brockinier, celebrating today. Happy Linda is, of course, and Les is retired from the Federation and avid fisherman. So you guys have a good day. Spoiler, Les, make sure Linda deserves to be spoiled. Happy birthday going out to 94 years old, Terry Somerset. Terry, I just love her. She's celebrating on Friday, February 4th, and at 94 years old, Terry's always been a Métis fighter and always will be. Happy 21st birthday to Tyson Pronto, that's Thomas Pronto's son, February 6th. Happy 46th birthday, Lisa Janai, my niece out in Duck Bay. I love her so much. And then also to her two daughters, Sheila and Nina, who celebrate February 7th, their birthdays. Happy 44th birthday to Jeremy Mayer. That's Judy Mayer's son and baby, who celebrated on February 11th. And also 21st to Jace Jackson Mayer, another one. What a Mayer. She's got a lot of family, man. It's a lot of kids and grandsons. I always tease her on that because there's so many birthdays and things happening in that family. Monday, February 14 on Valentine's, baby. Jackson Mayor. Happy 55th birthday to Minister John Paranto, who is celebrating his birthday. Of course, he's the Minister of Fisheries, and he's still going out and giving free nets. Mr. Paranto is working on that file. And also happy birthday to Denise Thomas, but who actually couldn't join us at the cabinet meeting because of the road conditions. So we ate her cake on her behalf, and the cabinet sang happy birthday to her. But it's also the same birthday as Roland. That's Robert Goodry's wife, and happy birthday, Roland. And just for everybody's knowledge, you might have heard it on the show, Robert and Roland were married on the day I was born, January 23rd, 1960. So they've been married 62 years, Ray.
Wow.
So good for them, Roland. I'm very, very honored to have seen you yesterday and to shed a tear and watching you, and it's made me so proud. So again, and also congratulations, final, to Red River Métis citizen Kerry Einerson, who won, again, her third consecutive win of the Scotties. And again, I'm so proud of her team. As you'll see, our Métis emblems on her shirts and everything, and also you'll see standing electric, the Métis business. You'll see it on her shirts when they're curling. So it's just a great thing. We also have a professional golfer from Selkirk out in the United States right now, which we're sponsoring, and more like that are coming, and we'll keep you posted. So with that, Ray, I'll say again, thank you very much. And for those people that are using the children in these protests, always remember, I heard this morning, which I was very, very proud to hear the way they said it, Ray. A warrior will protect the children. A coward will hide behind them. So that's a good way of saying it, and because they're using children now in the semis to make sure that they don't get arrested, and so again, they're using children as a weapon. Okay, but with that being said, you guys keep up the good work, and happy Valentine's to everybody, and that goes to my mother-in-law out in Cranberry, and I'll see you soon, and I'm coming to Trappers Festival, which is next week. I'll be out in DePaul, and I'm very proud, and I congratulate all those people at Trappers Festival that worked so hard to make it a special day in DePaul. So take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next Saturday.
All right, thanks, David.
Okay, bye-bye, Ray.
Have a good weekend.
See you on Monday.
Yes.
Okay,
all
bye-bye.
Right, bye now. David Chartrand, the president of the Manitoba Métis Federation, with his weekly report, Métis Matters. All right.